Okay. Okay. What's up, guys? Tobias Bex here from Freestyle, and I'm here with no other than Alan Fagerli.
It's really good to be here, and I'm very excited actually to try this new Freestyle ball, the version 4 of Control.
Definitely, and that's the reason why we're here, to talk about the new Control ball, the new V4. And yeah, there's been a lot of people asking for the V2 ball, and this is the closest we will get. We didn't want to name it the V2 because it's version 2, and we upgraded to version 3. Some of you guys might say that it was a downgrade, because we have got a lot of feedback from you guys telling us that the ball is really good, but it's also a little bit more slippery than the V2. And like you guys have seen, Alan is also using the V2 ball, and you have been using that for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, right. Since I don't know when it was launched. Was it 2017, 18 or something?
Good question. Yeah, we'll have to check that. But you actually have it with you here.
Yeah, I've had a few different of V2, but this is the one I've been having for a bit over 2 years now. It's been serving me very well, I would say. It's a really good ball, and the more I use it, the better it gets, I feel. The grip is improving, and I feel like the touch and how I know the ball is just getting better. But I would say it's maybe in the beginning the grip and the feeling improves the most. So maybe after using it for a month or two, it's very good.
Yeah, and also just to get into details about the ball and the difference between the V4 and the V3. Like you guys can see, we have all the three models here: V2, V3, and the V4. And a lot of you guys have been telling us that the V3 has been a bit more slippery, and the reason for that is because of the design. So the ball hasn't changed much from the V2 to the V3. There's just a small improvement of the bladder, but to be honest, you guys won't really feel a difference there. And what we have done with the V2, but also the V3 and now the V4, is our own custom-made bladder that is supposed to keep the bounce even with low air pressure, because freestylers, for us, it's quite important, and that you can juggle the ball and still have good bounce without the ball being too pumped up. Most of freestylers like the ball when it's not fully pumped. The biggest problem with the V3, and the feedback we have got from you guys, and probably the biggest reason why Ireland hasn't been using this ball as much, is because of the camouflage print and the design. And the problem with that, and the reason why you guys feel that it's more slippery, is because the print itself got also a outside layer, a lamination that makes the ball more slippery. So what we have done, we have then gone back to the, or at least as a similar design to the V2 as possible. There's a few small design features that is different, but we wanted to keep the ball as open as possible without too much of printing. So ideally, it would be better to make the ball completely white, but we still want our branding, and we also think that design is important, and also the contrast between black and white is also quite good when you're freestyling, because it will make the ball more visible, and also to keep the compositions and design symmetric, so also the ball looks good when it's moving around in the air and when you're freestyling. So Ireland hasn't been testing the ball too much, at least yet, and we are about to film the promo video that you guys hopefully have been watching already very soon. But I'm really excited to see what you feel about it, and also what you guys are feeling about it. And yeah, I'm just curious also to hear what is important for you and what you look for in a ball.
I think the two most important things are, of course, the grip. That's one thing, and the other is the bounce, or like the feeling of the ball. For me, the grip on V3 was not so good. I liked it more in V2, as we have already spoken about. But I also don't want the grip to be too much. For example, the grip ball feels very unnatural for me. The bounce on the grip ball is also not so good for my freestyle, at least. So, but this, at least this version 2 that I have been freestyling with the last years, I feel has had the perfect balance between grip and bounce. I'm really excited to see how I will feel about this V4 after a month or two with training. And I think after what I've heard, I really believe it will be very good. So yeah.
Hopefully it will be, because you have actually used that ball so much. You've been winning a lot of competitions with it, but tell us also
I really
about
need a new one. You can see it's very, well, I could have cleaned it a bit more, that's true. But yeah, it's very well used, and I also have a nail inside the ball to keep the air from falling out. So the air has been falling out for almost 1.5 years now, but I really like this ball, so I make sure to have the nail in. So it actually works pretty nice, but I need a new ball, so I hope this one will do the work.
Hopefully, and I think a lot of freestylers can recognize themselves when it comes to balls and shoes in general. Like when you have used the ball for a little while, and also the same with the shoes, you have breaking them in. Mm-hmm. That's the, you know, it takes some time, but then it's really hard to go back to a new ball or breaking new shoes. It's kind of like you don't want that.
Yes. You feel like your level drops like instantly, and then you have to like work your way up again. But then after some time, usually for shoes, for me it takes maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and they are perfect. Ball takes maybe a bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. Same here.
Maybe 1 or 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, for me, shoes was much worse for earlier. It was hard for me to break them in, but now it's easier. But the ball, like you said, it takes more time. And remember that, guys, when you also buy this, that give it some time. You need to loosen it up, you know, make it softer, and that's one of the reasons why we have improved the bladder on the version 3 to make it easier to break in the ball. But again, like Erlend said, it takes time, and he doesn't want to get rid of this ball, but hopefully the V4 can replace it.
I don't know if it's a good advice, but I feel like if you train with it outside, it gets a bit more worked out, the ball maybe. If you only practice indoors, everything is clean all the time, it takes a bit longer time, I think. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. Okay, so to get into the details of the design and the differences between the V2, V3 and the V4 is, like you guys can see, we don't have the camouflage pattern, and we try to, you know, make it as simple as possible, but still stylish and comfortable to freestyle with. So we've kept a very similar design to the V2. The only differences is some of the black lines are sharpened up, and also we have some white cuts in the black lining. We still got the WFFA logo. We got the golden logos, of course, the For Freestyle logo with the control name underneath, but also underneath there we have a small text which is saying the power to influence or direct the ball's behavior or the course of the ball. We also have some other design elements like the Japanese saying control, and also the arrows here saying control V4 in an X shape, the control V4 stamp, as well as saying what size it is, and the iconic stickman who is doing some freestyle with a air pump ball. This is actually me trying to draw Erlend.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks kind of similar.
Yeah,
right?
it looks like me as a kid with a very circular head.
Yeah,
looks nice.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's the new design, very similar to the V2, and it's pretty much the same ball, only a few differences when it comes to design, but the ball itself is pretty much the same. And if you order it, you will also get it in this new black box. And hopefully you guys will buy this ball and give us some feedback. We are very much looking forward to hearing your thoughts, and also Ireland. And by saying that, I think actually it's time to get out and test the ball and to film the promo video. So yeah, I think we'll stop the video there and then see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, see you.
Or at Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.